You know what you watching? You watching Cabin TV, Garden of the Galaxy, aka Extraterrestrial, the good, the bad, the ugly. Today we're gonna talk about warlords. We're gonna talk about guys who's engineering things to work against you. What I mean by warlords, I mean by guys that's in control of certain things. And this conversation is very important because most guys are part of a cult and these different organizations that control society the way it is. And the warlords is powerful people, rich people that engineering things against you. Because society is a test, the things that we deal with as a man, we go through. It's a test, and it's powerful people that manipulate society in their own favor, how they want things to be. These warlords get off on, dominating and psychological warfare with destroying men and using some of them as slaves, and it's sicker than what you think it is. Because most of these guys are rulers of the world. What else you gonna do? Play with guys' emotions? Have them feel like that they less of a valuable person to the point where they end up hurting themselves or crashing out. These mixed emotions that you go through, you broke, you're not financially stable like you want to be, and they do these things to just make you feel, unconscious and not aware of what's going on and why they doing it to you, so you can self-destruct and destroy yourself. Would you feel like you being broke? You'll feel like there's no meaning in life because you see it on TV, you see it here, you see there, see it in the streets, in the neighborhoods where you hang at, and your environment. That's why you gotta ignore a lot of things that is going on in society, with people engineering things to play with your mental state of mind and having you feeling like you gotta belong in this group and belong in that group, or you gotta be this person, be that person, or to feel successful. And I'm not trying to, preach to anybody. People can say what they want to say about the Bible. A lot of things are being acted out and played out like a movie. So this chapter that we read in the Bible, it gives us, life testimony, basically telling us what to do and what not to do and what to look out for. And you got warlords and powerful men who's evil, that's engineering, them to feel more important than the rest of the guys. So there's no future with most other guys of having a plan to have a family. All that's engineered. You just a slave from the beginning. Everything that we was taught was lies. Your whole purpose is to find out who you is and what's your meaning of life outside of what the world tell you. They tell you, it's all about getting married, having kids, wonderful life, blase, blase. No, they just doing that so that you can create more slaves. Because once they program you with having the kids and having a family and everything, then now your kids will be a slave to the system. Because they already engineered women to be used as a tool to determine if a man belongs in society or not. By what? Being a slave to the system or being a slave to women. And the women are a slave to the system, so they utilize the women to bring us back to the plantation. And what I don't mean by a plantation where you getting whipped on the field for picking cotton. I'm talking about a plantation where you're no longer free. You're not free of validation. You gotta live up to other people's expectation, and that's only because they want to use you for the things that you have. And everybody uses each other. It's like when they get tired of each other and things not going right the way they feel like it's going to go, and then they move to the next person and do the same thing. Ongoing cycle. Simple. Don't put your dependency on love and commitment, because people change every day like the weather. Some people go for what's going good for them in that moment, making them feel important and making them feel special and wanted and all this and that, It's just like a young female. We got a lot of women out there that feel like they so important because they get money and materialistic things from these guys. It don't matter because once you used up and wore out and he done popping babies in you and making babies with you or whatever, and it ain't gonna last long. He gonna go out there and see somebody else that look better than you. Ongoing cycle. Y'all cheating on each other, playing battle of the sexes. Yeah, you calling him daddy and baby and all this other stupid names, you know what I'm saying, with father issues and everything else. That's sick anyway. I wouldn't want a female to call me daddy. Don't call me something else that you calling another nigga. Shit weird to me. I'm not your daddy. What y'all having flashback with sleeping with your dad? And another thing I feel like that most guys, promote is being a warlord. Most women feel like that guys supposed to be the leaders, the providers. But see, the trickery part that they teaching women is, oh, you supposed to listen to a man and this and that. These women are listening to evil men out there. Men, they're going to lead them to the direct pits of hell. Because by being burnt down and bitter, yeah, you having fun while you still young and you're a teenager and you sleeping with different guys, getting money from them, getting used up. But every time, that you taking, you're putting your emphasis in that. Putting too much emphasis in it. You programmed. So once the women get programmed, burnt out, for all the worst experiences that she done been through, when she get older, she gonna resent men. She gonna hate them. She gonna talk about, oh, I'm finna be gay. I'm finna just mess with women, because it's a confusion of you not understanding that life wasn't really all about that. But they haven't had no guidance from no real man. They getting guidance from the warlords. Guys who's rich and powerful and engineering society to be what they think it really is. And you can call these warlords satanic groups and evil people that dividing and, playing with people's emotions and destroying them. That's why they say attachment is the best thing they ever have. Because you attaching yourself away from this world, from people's expectations. You won't have to worry about those things of messing with you mentally and playing with your mind, make you feel like that you're not good enough for this person or that person. When your purpose is higher than that, way higher than that, that person is just temporary, especially if they weren't sent by God. It's just going to be using you for what you got or whatever the case may be, and if you're not doing what that person say, then they turn against you. The Bible warns us about all these things, about evil people, and I believe in it because it's acted out like a movie in front of our face. That's why you sit and play these games with trying to be more in a competition with somebody else, another man, who you feel like has dominated. They got this, they got that. Let the world say whatever they say about these so-called high-value men, these men, because they're a slave to the system or a slave to a woman. Most guys are feeding their egos until things go left and they ain't going the way they expected it to go. Or they hit rock bottom and lose everything they got. Then they see how society was engineered against them. It was all a lie. Yeah, you feel good at the moment because you feel like, yeah, I can get women who want me or whatever. But see, you got the wrong agenda anyway. Your whole goal is to sleep with different women and prove to other men they owe you more important than they is. You're better in the bedroom. You got more money. You got this. You got that. It's an ego trip thing. And once he find out that all women he can't manipulate, then he go back to being an upset guy and dogging women out and switching up, saying that, oh yeah, this race of woman will be better than that woman, or that woman will be better than this woman. Then it's a loop of him going through the cycle with him constantly tricking off. He get this woman money, he get that woman money. He paying for validation, he paying for respect, he paying for so-called love. Like they say, money could buy hoes, but it can't buy love. But most things are engineered to believe that you can buy women. Women are engineered and programmed anyway. The Bible says a lot about these women. They're egotistic maniac. Because then if you hit rock bottom, then you're a nobody. They switch up on you. It happens all the time. So what people doing is enjoying this fake illusion of happiness for a temporary moment until they get tired of each other. Like I said, it did break up and end up being mentally destroyed from the breakup because they felt like that it was going to last long. It was going to be a marriage thing. It was going to be something that was where one of the parties, whether it was a male or a female, one of them get mad because things ain't going that way. And as time, they set themselves up with believing those lies after all these years and going through all those experiences. And after they done, they burnt out and bitter. Or they don't want to date nobody. They don't want to be in a relationship. They want to soul search. Then all of a sudden they want to find God and they want to heal from all the problems. By then, that person will be mentally destroyed. It's just like a woman, most guys deal with these young women. They burn them all the way out until they get a certain age. And after they done with them, they toss them to the side, and go after another younger woman, as time goes on. And once you get old and used up and ran down, guys done with their bragging rights and they move on. The key thing for most guys that's dealing with warlords, and we in this today's society where these so-called powerful rich men is, engineering women to make fun of other guys because we're not in the dating field. We don't want to date anymore because, we broke, we this and that. Ignore that. Everything that's engineered against you as a man, ignore it. Don't feed into it. Because most men want to bring us back into the dating game so they can have somebody to compete against. Because without nobody to compete, the game is boring. That's why I say this whole thing is a game. They play games with this woman for a certain period of time. Once they're done with her, they move on to the next. It's something that feeds their own ego. And they feed both for each other ego, because the woman ego is being fed by feeling like that the guy who did for her all these materialist things, buying her things and stuff, she feel like every guy's supposed to do the same thing. So with her being burnt out and disappointed with her not being able to keep it, and finding out later down the line that she was just temporarily, later down the line she get burnt out and bitter and want to just start using men and just hate them. And if she can't do that long, what they do? They turn to other women. They turn to each other. So the warlock cause all kinds of confusion where you shouldn't even be involved or, pay attention to the things that's going on in the world. What you should pay attention to is your own direction, not what another man doing. Because by ignoring these warlords, you'll let them know that you're not willing to play the game. You got your own purpose. And once they find out they can't control you and bring you back to the game with, feeding their ego, then they get tired of it. Eventually they'll switch society up. They'll switch, the rules up and everything else. They always do. You just can't entertain it. Force them to the point where they say, TV won't engineer their mind to be programmed slave to the system or to women. Then we got to go through another method. And the next method is, destroying us with drugs. Using that as a tool to knock off our people, by making them feel like that they don't belong in their own little society when it's a program society that causes more confusion and more hurt and pain. Because after you go through all these experiences and stuff with dealing with people, you're going to be burnt out. You shouldn't interact with everybody. There's a lot of people in this world that you shouldn't give your energy to. Because the warlock wants you to believe that your purpose is to be a programmed person that end up being a statistic later down the line. Because once you burnt out with dealing with all these people and being disappointed because the pleasure was temporarily and you wanted to last for a long period of time because you got too caught up into the moment that you thought it was going to last, then you be heartbroken and disappointed. Whether it's male or female. So that's why I don't get myself caught up into the world. I tell guys out there to just ignore what's going on in the world. Ignore these women completely. Let the guys have fun with them. Let them do whatever they want to. They want to stroke their ego off and they just want attention from you, man. They want somebody to compete with them. They want somebody to compete with these warlords. So you can prove something to them, because if you ain't proving nothing to them, the woman and the man won't have the power. The evil man with the money. He won't have the power. He won't be able to have the nerve to say, oh yeah, I'm sleeping with your woman, and boasting and bragging and trying to make you feel. How you gonna say something like that when it's not even your woman? He can't claim to sleep with something that's not yours. You're not involved with her no more. You don't see her. It's like you don't even know her, because she's not even in your presence or in your bubble, not even in your world. That's how you kill that. Disappear. Sometimes you gotta learn how to disappear away from your neighborhood and away from places that people feel like you're gonna be at. Because everything gotta be cut off. Because you building your mind with isolation away from the nonsense. No more TV like that. And if it is, TV is something that's, motivating you to be a better person. It don't have nothing to do with anything being attached to a woman, greed, money, competing with another man. It don't have nothing to do with that. So then you can protect your energy and live happy and free without all these weird ass expectations from people. That's all you gotta do. And once you start moving like that, the warlords can't bother you. They'll destroy everybody else, all the other weak men that steady trying to compete with other men, and knowing that your path is not all about validation or impressing somebody or buying things from them or giving them your energy so they can use you up and drain you and make you look like you an idiot or you a slave to they finance. Don't support most of these guys out here. Just ignore them. Because they engineering, bullshit, because they feel like they the rulers and they the heads and they men, they brainwash the whole world with believing that, oh, man is in charge. Well, man is directing this world into an evil place. And it's engineered like that. So you can blame it on the devil. You can say it was the devil, garden evil, whatever story you want to make. Just know that you shouldn't put your energy into what's going on in this world or people around you. Or these selfish, evil-ass men that think that they the rulers of the world. They can have all the women. Let them have it. Let them have all the women till they catch AIDS. So you be the person that worry about your higher purpose and ignore all this bull crap in the world. And that's all I got to say about that. Sometimes you got to boycott the things that's toxic to your ears, like rap music.